Swerve and Hangman spent the week choosing each other's Dynamite match opponents. And unfortunately, we were all a little underwhelmed by just like what they chose and how they chose it. Should we say that?
Yeah, we thought that they were going to like do something like psychology wise, and they didn't. So
they didn't at all. It was really, I felt a little bit like, well, fantasy book, don't fantasy believe. But I would have been happy with so many options if they had just tried to get under each other's skin. But instead, they were just kind of like, well, here's a man.
It did feel a little bit like it's like these were the matches that they were going to have, and they were like, well, we'll just present them in this way. And it's like, don't just present them in that way. If you choose to do something so psychologically ripe and delicious, don't half-ass it. I want to watch you like pose like the thinker, like deep in contemplation of how you can torture this man who is defining your entire life right now unhealthily.
The hands you chose to put on the body of your nemesis, and you're just going to be like, oh, I guess this one's okay. Like RVD. Yeah,
so,
sure.
But the thing that bummed me out is like, even if for some practical reason that we do not know about, it had to be those matches. They could have made like a little bit more of an effort.
Make a case
like,
for it.
All I would have taken like is a backstage moment where Swerve is talking to don't say Tia Leone. Don't say Tia Leone. Toa Leona saying, like, these are his weak spots. This is what I want you to focus in on. You have to beat him. This is how he thinks. And like really like being like, and you are standing in for me. In this moment, you are going to be my avatar, and like making it very good.
Yeah. And ideally Toa Leona's vibe would be a little like, I don't need to be told how to wrestle. And Swerve is being like, no, listen to me. You will fight the way I want you to fight. Right. You are me. And then also he could have been saying, these are just like deranged ideas for free. He could have been saying things like, when Toa Leona like squashes you, that's me. Those are my hands on you. His hands are my hands because the Mogul Embassy are my arms, and whatever.
Yes.
The men who are making Instagram posts like, you're part of me forever. Like, you're telling me they came with an energy of like, I forgot it was Secret Santa today and I just found this stuff in my car. Like, that's not what they should be coming to the table with.
No. Commit to the bit.
Gaslight me. Tell me that Rob Van Dam was Swerve's idol growing up. You know what I mean?
You're
like,
great.
I don't know any different. Go ahead, tell me. Like, I know you had a picture of Rob Van Dam in your bedroom because I've talked to everybody and I know things about you that blah blah blah. And now you're gonna fight him. Like, come on, lie to me. What the hell?
Yeah, seriously,
make it sexy.
Just being like,
I'll believe.
It's a death match, like, isn't enough. Be like, Swerve, I know you're still beat up and like you can't take a death match right now. Like, anything, even a little bit.
Yeah. Just feed us. Just feed us. And I think this one important takeaway here is that it really is about the framing. Yeah. It really is. You can sell me on so much, but I want you to frame it sexy style.
Yeah, and they've been doing so much sexy up to this point. It was just like, I was so ready for it. So
it's a good reminder that even the best sometimes phone it in. Some days you just have that day where you're like, listen, you've got
the end of January.
Yeah, end of January. I clocked in.
Yeah. That's all I know you want to get horny, but we're all struggling this week. Okay, I'll give it to you. I acknowledge that at the end of the day, it's my job to get me horny, not necessarily yours. cut all of that, I think. So Hangman did fight Toa Leona, and that was a big old slut fest. They're fighting and squatting and punching, and
it was
all
a better match than I expected.
It was fun. I liked it.
They went hard. Yeah. So
I think it made me
nice.
like Toa Leona more. I didn't have many feelings about him, but at the end I was like, oh, that was good. That was good work.
He's a very unique wrestler. Like, the shit that he's getting up to, I'm like, I don't see a lot of that.
I love the confidence with which you said that. I would not have the confidence to say that about anybody. I don't know, but I love that. Unique. So Hangman won, and then Swerve versus RVD main evented, and that was fine. But I just don't know Rob Van Dam. Yeah. And I kept being like, I guess that maybe many people may be excited about this because they know him, but I don't really, so I don't care. Brian Cage intervened mid-match, and Hook ran out to stop him, but the distraction still ended up being to Swerve's advantage, so he won. And then Hangman came out for a post-match promo, which we can unpack together, but it did end with the promise that they will fight next week. It'll be their third match, and the winner is going to fight Joe at Revolution.
Yeah. This was extremely exciting. I didn't think they were going to fight before a paper, like just next week on television.
It kind of stressed me out. Like, I wasn't ready for it. So I was like, they're doing what?
They're moving very fast. I'm like, we're cruising towards something. I hope it's something I'm going to enjoy.
I know, because
so.
I'm like,
I feel
Revolution isn't
right now,
for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Just 4 now, yeah. So
I always wonder, how are we going to fill the time? Who's going to be doing what? But I'm excited. What are you guys' thoughts on the outcome of this match?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want Swerve to win the belt on Sting's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But
no,
I also don't want him to lose to Joe. So I guess
I want him to lose to Hangman because he does have 2 wins. Like, I think this is where like I start to get my like a little bit of special boy feeling, where I'm just like, well, he can't lose all the matches
3 times in a row. He's going to start spiraling. That won't be good for his mental health at all.
I think the ultimate is that I want Hangman to get the belt and then keep it from Swerve.
Yeah.
That's been like
and then
my
Swerve
ideal
to win it off Hangman.
This whole time. Yeah, as for like Hangman to win it at Revolution with Sting's whole deal, and then Swerve to chase him, and them to have a like very fiery thing for a while, and then Swerve to win it. So,
but if Hangman gets it, I want him to hold it for a little bit, just because like his first reign sucked so bad.
Sucked.
So I'm just like,
he's got to have it at least through the summer.
Yeah, and then maybe Swerve gets it at like all in or something. You know what I mean? Like, I know people keep saying that like Ospreay is going to get it. I don't think Ospreay should get it this year, but
it's like we're having all in every year. I don't understand why you would put a belt on Ospreay immediately when he gets into the company. I feel like that devalues the belt. To be honest.
Well, and sometimes it feels like, I don't know. I saw someone, I think with like the Punk situation, just talking about how it's like, if you're like watching like a comedy and you're really invested in like the characters, and then like Beyonce joins the show and she's a big star, so now it's all about Beyonce, and you're like, well, I was actually kind of invested in like the show I was watching. Like, that's kind of how I feel about like a big star coming in, where it's like, it'll be fun to see Ospreay and stuff, but like I'm invested in the storylines that are currently happening, so like let's pay them off and then work Ospreay into the mix organically, you know?
Yeah. And of course, I want him to. I'm happy for him to get a beautiful big boy belt in front of his home country. Like, I understand why you would want to have that big feel good moment, and I'm sure that I will like it. To be honest, I'm a very simple woman, so I'll probably enjoy it. It just shouldn't be this year.
No, next year would be perfect.
All in next year is great. Yeah. Give him a little story. Give him a little run up to it. Get me invested. Make me care.
Swerve Ospreay would fucking rule. So if
God.
Ospreay's the one who takes it off Swerve eventually, that would fucking rule.
That would be so sexy. Can I just touch in on, this is a little lower stakes issue. So Hangman has his big mustache now, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes I worry that the mustache is taking volume away from the hair, that the hair is becoming smaller to accommodate the largeness of the mustache, and I don't think that we have to compromise. I think that we can have those big, beautiful, loose curls, as well as the big honkin' 70s mustache that's getting us all going, revving our engines.
The hair is heading into mullet territory, and there was a moment when, let's be careful with it, because there was a moment when he came out last night where I was like, well, I'm still wildly attracted to him, but I feel like if my best friend who doesn't watch wrestling saw him right now, she would be like, ew, what is going on with like the mullet mustache situation?
That's so more damning than I expected.
I know, I'm sorry. But there was just a moment where I was like, he looks like an 80s wrestler and not in a good way at this moment. Except it's still good to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course it's still absolutely.
We're not getting off this train.
No. But something about the fact that his hair was so wet but the mustache was so fluffy
Bushy.
and like bushy.
Dry.
And I know that it's like
the hair
you
was
can't-
wet, but the mustache
and
was
it's like you
dry.
can't wet down the mustache in the same way. I understand that. But the
You can
contrast,
put conditioner on it. It's not illegal. I mean, it's not normal, but I don't have one, so.
I don't know that I love a wet mustache.
I'm not advocating. To be clear, I'm not advocating for a wet mustache. I'm advocating for drier hair. I'm advocating for
I feel like we've inadvertently wandered into a Toni Storm situation, and normally we do that on purpose, but this time it just happened, and I don't know.
Should we mark this one as explicit? Are they all marked as explicit?
I think we're supposed to be marking them all as explicit now, because I mean,
Girl, I'm
frankly,
sure we are because of the things we say. Yeah. So on TV, I don't think we need the wet mustache.
We gotta just turn our brains off and turn it back on again. I can't go back from this.
let's do a full hard reboot.
Oh my god.
I love New Orleans. They gave me a beautiful mustache in the airport, and it was not dry.
Do you think we'd be straight up arrested if we called this episode Wet Mustache Ride?
We may have to. We may legally be obligated to.
That's how we get
Oh
those
my
clicks,
God.
ladies. You know, everyone
gotta
else's
get the clicks.
episodes, they're so sober and normal titled. And
Yeah. Okay, wake up, girls. We need a pot of coffee and a big bowl of ice water. Get us back into
put our
it.
whole heads
What
in
is-
the water. Yeah.
What was it that the Quakers thought you were? Was it oatmeal? Yeah, I assume to like stop having so many sexual thoughts. Should we?
Oh, that was a lot of cereal.
Oh,
Was
a lot
supposed
of
to curb
cereal.
sexual impulses. That's how
Yeah.
we got many of our American cereals. Yeah.
I love the moments where you guys think I am completely out of my mind, and then it clicks in what I'm saying, and I'm
Yeah.
like, thank God, because I didn't know where I
God.
was going with that next.
What? Well,
God
was
bless
it
American
the
Puritanism.
Quakers? Like, did the Quakers invent oatmeal to stop sex? Like, I don't think that's right, but I did see where he.
Does the guy on the Quaker oat box, does he have a mustache?
I can only picture the
I don't
Pringles
think
guy.
He does. He has his
And if the
mustache
hair
might be
gets
wet.
too small, that will be Hangman, the Pringles guy.
This
Be
is the
careful.
stupidest reason we're
Quaker-
ever going to be overtime.
I
We're way
know.
over time, dude, and
Quaker-
I'm not even
Quaker
trying to
guys-
stop us.
Quaker Oats is clean shaven, so that's
Wow.
because to
He didn't
curb
want
your
people to
sexual
be able to
impulses.
see if it was dry or not.
Stop! Reboot!
It's gonna make it hard for us to get jobs in future. No. Okay. Ooh. Ma. All right.